Welcome to the Sowing Hope podcast. This is a show all about implanting hope in our hearts. I'm Bill Snyder, joined by my friend Ann DeSantis. We're glad you're here for our uplifting conversation about faith and how it sustains our hearts through all the seasons of life. Thanks for walking with us.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sowing Hope podcast. As you can see, I'm joined by my good friend Ann DeSantis. I'm Bill Snyder. It's wonderful to be here with you on this episode, and thank you so much for following, liking, and subscribing to Patchwork Heart Ministry on social media and YouTube. And here we are once again. Ann, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Bill. It's good to be back on Sowing Hope. It's been a little while, so I'm glad we're back on an episode.
Yeah, it's great to do it. It is always fun to be on the air and to share with our listeners. And today we've got a great topic because it's going to be a great event coming up. The Marian Summit, March 16th, 17th, and 18th, May 16th, 17th, and 18th. March 16th, 17th, 18th is already passed, folks. But no, May 16th, 17th, and 18th, we're doing a Marian Summit, much like we did with the Eucharistic Summit back in December. So I'm totally excited for this. Can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be our topic today.
Yes, it's extremely exciting. And so those dates are May 16th, 17th, 18th, 2023. The reason I say the year is because, of course, we get people who listen to our podcast even a while after. And in December of 2022, we did the Eucharistic Summit where we hosted over 20 Catholic speakers, Catholic authors and speakers. You can still watch the entire Eucharistic Summit. All you need to do is to go to Patchwork Heart Ministry YouTube on the playlist there and listen and watch the summit. And this is going to be another one. And I think it's exciting how it all came about as well, because when we finished the Eucharistic Summit, we said to ourselves, this was just a wonderful endeavor that brought people together. It brought stories and catechesis and wonderful talks on the faith, the Catholic faith. And of course, May is the month of the Blessed Mother. I have to give Bill, you the credit that you were the one that said, hey, we should do a Marian Summit. And so many of our speakers wanted to come back. Like 3/4 of the people that we had on the Eucharistic Summit decided that they wanted to come back. So it's really going to be great. And both Bill and I are also going to offer talks on the Blessed Mother and ways that we can grow in faith to honor, love, and serve her, and to understand that she is our mother, right, Bill? Mm. I mean, it's really all about the fact that she's just there for us, and she's everyone's mother, watching over us. She's Jesus's son, and she loves each and every one of us.
Yeah.
And she's interceding. And that's really what the Marian Summit is going to be about.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, we're really going to focus, much like we did with the Eucharistic Summit, on those three facets that Ann was just mentioning. You know, it's catechesis, it's stories, and it's also, prayer. And so we have those three aspects that we always bring into the summits because, it's not just, of course, we have to learn about Mary. We have to learn about, the power of her intercession and all of those things. And there's some great theologians that are going to present on that. But then we also have those personal stories, right? Like, how has the Blessed Mother impacted my life? I mean, everything from the countless number of approved apparitions across the world that I'm sure we'll touch on. I mean, there's one here in my home state, the only one in the United States, Our Lady of Good Help, which has impacted me greatly. I mean, just to be able to say that I've been there, I've been to that shrine where the Blessed Mother appeared. I've been to a few of them, but it's really beautiful to have that here in Wisconsin. So I'm sure we'll highlight that during the Marian Summit. And then, of course, to drive people deeper into prayer. I mean, this is all about, developing a relationship with God, right? And the one thing about the Blessed Mother, I know you know this, and and we always say this, is that Mary always points to her son Jesus. This is all about Jesus in the end, right? I mean, the Blessed Mother will always defer to her son. She'll always say, "Hey, look, my son is the Savior. He is the one that is here to redeem you and to save you and to bring you closer to God." So, because He is God. So, it's really beautiful how the Blessed Mother always points us to Jesus. And so, for me, that's one thing that I always look forward to speaking about, but also helping people have an encounter with the Blessed Mother, because she is right in heaven, assumed body and soul. That's what we believe, and so that's so beautiful. And we see the fullness of grace in her. So I'm so excited for this, Ann. I can't wait to hear all the other speakers. That's the other thing that I get the pleasure of is editing all of the talks, or putting the bookends on all of them. So I get the chance to listen to them a few times, and I'm always blown away, right? Like just by and I learn so much and I grow so much, and I think. So many people were, really, really excited about the Eucharistic Summit that we had to do another one. We just had to do this.
Yeah, we just had to do it. And as I said, Bill, about 3/4 of the speakers that we had for the Eucharistic Summit, everybody has reasons why they can't do something. Everybody's busy. But to have 3/4 of them come back to do the Marian Summit is a pretty big deal. I think it's wonderful. So I'm going to list off, if I could, those speakers. I do have a list, so exciting to say. So some of those speakers that we have are Janelle Paraguay, and she is with the Diocese of San Diego. She works with a divorced and separated ministry, so she's going to be joining us. We also have Terry Ann Modica with the Good News Ministry. We have Catholic author and speaker Carlos Solorzano. We have Leslie Wall. We also have our own Jennifer Sinclair, so thrilled, of Fiat Ministry Network. So this will be, I believe, her first time of doing a video for one of our presentations. We also have Kendra Von Esch, Catholic author and speaker, myself, who's executive director for the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, and Liz Montigny, who is a coach, a life coach, Father Daniel Bowen, who's a Mercedarian friar, Christina Semmons, who has her own ministry at christinasemmons.com. She is a catechist and a Catholic author Caroline Godin, and we have Catholic evangelist William Hemsworth, very blessed, our own Bill Snyder. Bill, we're so glad that you're going to be one of our speakers, the founder of Patchwork Heart Ministry, the executive producer of Who Do You Say I Am? And we also have Allison Gingras of Catholic Mom, Ray Haywood, Catholic author, Charbel Raish, who's with Parosia Media and also a Catholic author, Robert Ramos, the founder of Mission Rosary, Dr. Mary Amore, the executive director of Maze Lake Ministries, Penny Warner, who's also a Catholic author, and Father Ken Breen, Mercedarian friar. I think I got everybody there. I was looking at the actual graphics that we made. But it's really exciting, and we're getting things together. May I say one more thing, that you might be watching this right now and think, oh my gosh, I know that person. I know, Father Ken Breen or William Hemsworth, whoever it is, and I want to sign up for this. Well, all you need to do is go to nonatus.org. On our we have a page for the Marian Summit. Just go to our programs and events page, and you'll be able to register there. So pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And definitely register because we'll be sending out little teasers. We just did the teaser trailer as well. I know, Ann, you just sent that out this past week to everybody. So we'll continue to give little teasers if you stay tuned into us and subscribe or sign up at the St. Marian Nonnatus Foundation. Bring a friend too. If you were maybe one of the people that came to the Eucharistic Summit, virtually, again, all of this is virtual stuff. So, but maybe think about bringing a friend. Saying, hey, forward the email to somebody who didn't attend and didn't attend, and tell them to sign up. I mean, this is free. It's 100% free. There's nothing that is being charged for this. It is a free service of all of our ministries because this is so important that we evangelize. And it's, we're all nonprofits, and this is our mission. So, right, Ann, this is right at the heart of our mission is evangelization in all three of our ministries. So, please just sign up. Just sign up.
Yes.
It's free. We're not going to badge you with a gazillion emails either. We promise. We're not gonna like hit you up with gazillion, but every once in a while you'll hear from us.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. And may I mention too, for people who are listening or watching this podcast for the first time, that already that Bill Snyder and I came together, and we came together and we started this beautiful podcast called Sowing Hope. I was doing another online TV show with another uh, TV station in New Jersey, which was a wonderful, wonderful experience. But at the time, because of the pandemic, I was no longer able to continue uh, working there and doing the podcast. So I had said to Bill, why don't we think about doing something from home? Because I met Bill through a good friend of ours, Kendra Von Esch. Hello, Kendra. And we came up with this idea of doing a podcast, which was all about bringing hope to those people who need to know how much God cares and need to know how much we care. And, that's what the Marian Summit is about too, because it's called the Marian Summit, but the subtitle is Hope Families. And the reason we did it that way is because this foundation, the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, who I represent, that's what we do. We make pastoral outreach to people who are going through trauma and crisis. And I'm really grateful because Bill's also a board member, a very, very valued board member who does so much for us. And these collaborative works that we do together, there's no competition at all between Patchwork Heart Ministry, Fiat Ministry Network, and the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation. That's how it should be in the nonprofit world. We shouldn't be competing for, who's the best nonprofit, who has all the most, prominent Catholic speakers, who gets the most likes on social media, who raises the most money. That's all good stuff, right? But what it comes down to is helping people and doing something for them, even if it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 100, however many people you can help. And that's what we're doing. We're doing it through proper catechesis, right? We're not doing something that's, against the teachings of the Catholic Church. Everything is completely in line with what we believe. And so that's just a beautiful thing, to come together with like-minded ministries, making a real difference for people. And who better to intercede to, learn about, pray to, listen to talks than our Blessed Mother? I know that there's a lot of very serious-minded people of faith, and I agree with them. I quite frankly agree with them that without the Blessed Mother, we're really not the Catholics that we should be. We can't really be Catholics the way that we should believe and honor without saying, you know what? I love my Blessed Mother, and I pray to her, I intercede to her, and I believe that she's the Mother of God, right? We can't leave the Blessed Mother out of this equation of being a Catholic. Bill, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
I think we agree. Right. We can't leave her out, right?
No, there's no way.
We say it pretty bluntly on this show, don't we, Bill?
Yeah, we do most of the time.
Just try to say it in plain language so that people get it, right? It's nothing fancy here.
Mm-hmm.
We try to evangelize in a way that makes sense to not just to everybody else, but also to ourselves, right? We have to believe it and understand it in a simple way. That's the way that we evangelize.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And if you don't, just understand the Blessed Mother, and maybe you're Catholic who's been sitting out there and like, hey, I don't get the Rosary. I don't get why we pray to the Blessed Mother for her intercession in our lives. I don't understand all of this. This Summit is for you, right? Like, and it can also be for those who maybe are Protestant or of another Christian denomination. Hey, come learn about the Blessed Mother in this setting. Come learn about the Blessed Mother in a pressure off situation, right? There's no pressure here, right? Like, you can shut the video off if you're not, happy with it or whatever. Like, bring people to, invite them. I mean, there's no pressure here. And those can learn. I mean, I think the big thing about, Catholicism is that it is so experiential, right? I mean, we have so many experiences that we can point to. God calls us into an experience, right? Through the sacraments, right? We have all of these sacraments that are truly experiential, faith, where you have, baptism and confirmation and the Eucharist and all of these, different sacraments, anointing of the sick, holy orders. I mean, there's so many different beautiful sacraments that we have that give us an experience of who God is in our lives. And as Anne said, you really can't leave out the Blessed Mother, right? Because, she, again, points the way to her Son and, gives us the ability to, get to her Son. I mean, that she without Mary, Jesus wouldn't come into the world, right? So she gives us the ability to have her yes, gives us the ability for her to come in to, or Jesus to come into the world and our lives. And of course people say, okay, well, if Mary didn't say yes, well, someone else would have, right? God would have given that, because that was his plan for salvation. But the power of Mary's yes, and what that means for us in our lives, and not only that, but how can we then honor her and show her just affection and love, because of what of her great yes. So those who try to cut Mary out of the picture, because they don't understand it, this is a beautiful way to come to a deeper understanding of all the different aspects of Marian theology. And believe me, the church has been doing this for a really long time, right? Like they've been studying and researching and honoring Mary and all of her gifts and contributions to humanity for a really, really, really long time, since the beginning of the church. She's always had a very prominent place, and so I'm excited for this, because I know that I will grow in deeper relationship with God through the Blessed Virgin Mary. It will happen. And I know that for all of you, it's the same thing. As Ann and I say, we're not only preaching to the choir, we're also learning from that same choir of people, right? This is us learning and us growing in faith along with you. This is not about, okay, well, Bill's going to give a talk, Ann's going to give a talk. They have some superior knowledge or some superior, no. We're learning right along with you from all of these other amazing speakers as well. So I'm excited to bring it in. I'm really excited to bring it to everybody.
Oh, yeah, I am too. And what you said was spot on, just like you said that what I said was too, but I do mean that with all my heart. I do want to say something else that just occurred to me as you were speaking to, is that I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the Blessed Mother, obviously, in terms of what we understand of her, not only through scripture, but through all the different apparitions and just other people's interpretations, say maybe Protestants or people who don't believe, But what I want to say is that what makes it most beautiful is when our relationship with her, our prayer to her, to intercede, right? Make no mistake, she points to Jesus, as Bill said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where her place is, beautiful place that has as the Mother of God and our mother. But there is a tendency sometimes in the church, and I know somebody will address it, maybe it'll be me, make some of what we believe about Mary, the prayers, the devotions, the novenas, and the different things, a little bit too stiff. And by that, I mean a little bit too mechanical, a little bit too, like, not really seeming real. When you see certain statues of Mary, she, maybe you'll reflect upon it and think, this is a statue. It's not really a person that lived. Well, she is. She is, and she exists with us today in our prayers. When we pray the Hail Mary, when we offer all of those beautiful prayers, but we can't do them in a stiff way, a mechanical way, a way that isn't real. We don't do them just to get what we want. We don't pray prayers just so that we can get the desires of our own hearts. We don't pray, like a slot machine so that we can put the money in and get something out. And I just wanted to bring that up because that's a misconception, I think, that we have, that she is real. She isn't just something, a prayer card that we look at when we go to a Catholic shop or the statue that we see at church. And I think ending this Marian Summit is going to make the Blessed Mother someone very, very real in your life and in your prayer life. So that's a reason to join, so that it's not so mechanical, it's not so far away, and she is someone who you can pray to, love, honor, and through the intercession of her Son too, serve her and her son together and the Catholic Church. So that's what it's all about. It's nothing fake. It's nothing unreal. And for those who think of it that way, we are going to really Marian Summit, that you understand the beauty of Mary, the beauty of her love. I do want to, Bill, one more thing, if I could say, is just to clarify to people that this is a virtual summit. A couple, where do I go to attend? Where is it going to be? Or is it in the Philadelphia area? I said, no. The nice matter, you can watch it anywhere, right? You can watch it if you're in Florida, California, out of state, out of country, wherever you are, wherever you can watch it. It's going to be those 3 evenings, 6 to 8 p.m. on the Patchwork Heart Ministry YouTube channel is where it will premiere. So it's just like you're going to be watching it live and in person, even though it's going to be on your computer or on your phone. So make sure you register then at nonatus.org.
Yeah,
Bill, thank you.
Oh, no, absolutely, Ann. It's exactly right. And, you know, folks, if you're already a subscriber of Patchwork Heart Ministry on YouTube, you're going to get it. So that's great, but, you know, still register because you'll get the updates about who's speaking and some, you know, hopefully have some surprises. Last time, I know for the Eucharistic Summit, we had 7 speakers each night, roughly 15 minutes long. So that's how we kind of get, you know, roughly 2 hours out of it, you know, and it's you know, neat. So we had 21 speakers exactly, and we had 7 each night. You know, we'll see if we are lucky enough to have exactly 21 this time, or maybe we have 24, 27, whatever it might be. We will bring that to you in kind of in the same format. So they'll be all available at 6 p.m. You can kind of skip around and jump around in the playlist as much as you want. You know, and that's how we'll do it. You know, so you can encounter all these different talks and, you know, these different speakers on these different angles. And, you know, I will say, Ann, we had an incredible response. I mean, it was really well attended. I mean, there were over 1,500 views, you know, over the 3 days of this conference of this Marian Summit, or the Eucharistic Summit. So we're anticipating that will continue in May. And so, you know, go over now, subscribe to the Patchwork Heart Ministry YouTube channel, and then, of course, register for the conference as well, because the nice thing is Ann will send out the playlist video through the email right at, like, you know, the couple, maybe an hour before or whatever, but so people can log in and be ready and click that button right at 6 o'clock. She did a great job with that. She'll do that again for the summit. So don't forget to register, because that way you'll just be able to know exactly when it's going to be available.
Thank you, Bill. That's exactly right. See, what happens when you register, the good news is that we give you updates. And like Bill said, it's not like you're going to get an update every single day, but you will get updates from us on what's going on with it, and, you know, maybe something to do with the speakers or just other things. So do please make sure to go to nonatus.org. It's going to be on the homepage too. It is on the homepage, but we also have a special page designated for the Marian Summit. May I ask too, to all of you, would you let your parishes know, your diocese organizations? We really do want this summit to get out there. We would love it to really be well publicized all over the place. We would love it if you can just send it over, even send this video. Just go and click on the share button here, copy the link for this podcast, and send it to your parish or to your diocese or your archdiocese. That would really, really help us a lot, because in that way, this Marian Summit will not just reach people like you and me and people who listen to YouTube or subscribe to certain nonprofits on websites, but it gets out to those people who go to parishes, and maybe people who don't even go online that much, but they'll read it in the church bulletin. So that's going to be a really great thing that you or someone you know, please, and also click the like and share button. Please do share this on your social media pages all over. Put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on LinkedIn, wherever you can share it. We appreciate it so much. Now, we do have to end pretty soon, but before we do, I have one more thing I want to mention to all of you, something very important, extremely important, that's happening at Patchwork Heart Ministry. It's a Catholic documentary. It's called Who Do You Say I Am? About the Shroud of Turin. This is the perfect time during the Lenten season to watch this video. The executive producer is Bill Snyder, from the founder of Patchwork Heart Ministry, right here with us today, and also Kent Kohaski from Fiat Ministry Network. So please do go to patchworkheart.org to the Shroud film page. And you can purchase this film simply for $7.99 or rent it for $3.99. And there's also great opportunities for a licensing agreement to show it to churches and dioceses and archdioceses. So, Bill, anything else you want to share on that note before we end?
No, Andy, you did an amazing commercial. Thank you.
Pretty much covered it.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it's been just an incredible ride and honor over the last 2 years to produce this. And we're getting some great traction from a lot of different Shroud speakers and Shroud enthusiasts all over the country. In fact, earlier today, I got a phone call from a Shroud researcher out in Ohio, and he was, excited to watch it and learn more about the documentary. So it's getting some wonderful traction. We hope that you make the effort to watch it. And I just mentioned real quickly that CMAX TV, CMAX.tv is another place for subscribers of CMAX. You can go over there and get it and get a bunch of other content. So yeah, go to our website. You can purchase it there for $7.99 or rent it for $3.99. But if you're already a subscriber to CMAX, or you want to replace your Netflix subscription with CMAX because they have entertainment and catechesis all mixed in one, it's beautiful platform, and it's Catholic, it's authentic, it's Christ-centered. I encourage families all the time, replace your Netflix subscription with CMAX. So that's what I say there. And so you can do that right from our website as well. There's a link that says Our Friends. Click on that. You can, scroll down to CMAX, subscribe, and it will take you right there. It's $13 a month right now. So, think about that. And other than that, that's, I think, all I have for the documentary. But yeah, register, sign up for the Marian Summit, folks. Go over to nonatus.org to do so. Anything left, Ann?
No, that's it. Can't wait for the next episode of Sowing Hope, because I think we're going to be back soon with some more great podcasts. We have 250 already. Yeah. Podcast of Sowing Hope, I think. Yeah. We've done so many, but there's more to come. This podcast is not ending. It's going to stay around. So that's good news.
As long as my son keeps sleeping in the middle of the day.
That's right. Stay asleep, Elvin.
Stay asleep, Elvin.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, folks, thank you so much for tuning in here to this episode of Sowing Hope. I am Bill Snyder. It's great to be with you as always. For Ann DeSantis and everyone at Patchwork Art Ministry, the St. Raymond Donatus Foundation, and Fiat Ministry Network, may God bless you and keep beating to those Catholic hearts.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Sowing Hope on Patchwork Heart Radio. For more information about this podcast and our ministries, visit our websites, patchworkheart.org and andesantis.com. You can also follow and interact with us on Twitter at PWH Ministry or Ann DeSantis 2.